Choosing Chaos, Solo Motherhood by Choice, the podcast for women who are done waiting for the one and ready to become the parent on their own damn terms. We're talking fertility, pregnancy, emotional chaos, and the village that it takes to raise a kid. Sometimes you're crying in the bathtub. Sometimes you're crying because your toddler bit you. And sometimes you cry because you chose all of this. Welcome to Motherhood, solo style. Let's get into it. Welcome to Choosing Chaos, Solo Motherhood by Choice. I am your host, Laura. So many of us carry more than we realize from the relationships that didn't work out. The second guessing, the anxiety, the quiet wondering about what it all means for our future, and especially for our dreams of becoming a mother. Failed relationships can leave us questioning ourselves and our timing, and sometimes even whether we're allowed to want what we want. And Kelley's conversation today is a gentle reminder of this. Relationships are never easy, and neither is the decision to leave them. But when something isn't serving us anymore, we're allowed to choose something different. We're allowed to choose a path that still leads us towards the life that we want, including motherhood. Before we begin, I want to share a piece of fan mail. This comes from a listener in Charlotte, North Carolina, who wrote, "Hi, Laura. I'm an aspiring SMC. Would you be open to spending 15 minutes with me on the phone?" Listener, thank you so much for trusting me with that. And to everybody listening, you can always reach out to me on Instagram, TikTok, or via email. All of those links are provided in the show notes if you want to continue this conversation, because this journey isn't meant to be navigated alone. So let's dive into it. Welcome to Choosing Chaos. Kelley, how are you?
Good.
We are excited to have you. I am joined today by Kristen. We have all heard Kristen's story a few weeks ago.
So I have 18-month-old twins, sort of funny, I guess. After joining the group on Facebook, Are We Dating the Same Guy? Decided that I was no longer interested in dating anyone, and decided to have kids on my own. Here I am. But yeah, that's the Cliff Notes version.
Okay.
Yeah.
that sounds like my life.
Yeah, right? I think it's a lot of us.
Oh my God.
Yes, and a lot of us are around the same age too. Like we've all decided, around 35 or older.
Yeah, I had Riley at 30. I was 39 when I had her.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Well, so let's dive into that. You had mentioned that you froze your eggs first. What made you decide to do that?
Well, because that's all I've ever wanted. Like people have dreams of like marriage and whatnot. I mean, yeah, I had a dream of marriage, but like I could not wait to have a baby. Like that's all I wanted. And I'm a teacher. I taught, I teach special ed now, third grade, but I started my like teaching career teaching preschool, and I loved it. Like the little babies, I loved every second. It's hard, but I loved it. I'm also a photographer, and newborn photography is my absolute favorite. And I'm a baby person. My sister, she like calls me the baby whisperer. And this was years before I even had had my own baby. And I remember when I was like 11 or 12, I was a mother's helper, and I just loved being with the little toddler and like watching him learn how to walk. And I was just so excited about every little thing. And his mom was like, "Kelley, you're going to be such a great mom one day." And I was like, "To be a mom one day?" I was 11. Okay. And ever since then, it's like, yep, that's my goal in life. Anytime anyone would say that to me, like, "Oh, wow, Kelley, you're going to be a great mom one day," I would my heart would expand, I just loved hearing that. And so I was engaged when I was 3. I wanted to get married right away. Wanted to get out of proposed to me after college. We're going to get married right away. Can't wait to have babies. I'm going to have 3 babies by the time I'm 30. That was my plan. Well, here we are. Engaged at 23. And it was exactly 9 months. 9 months after we got engaged, he called it off on me. I was absolutely heartbroken, devastated, like soul crushed, shattered, because all my dreams were like completely destroyed. Turns out he would have been a horrible husband. I would not have been happy married to him. Nope, not even a little bit. He was not even a good boyfriend. But young brain thought he was the best.
Have you looked him up on Facebook since?
Oh, yeah, he's married, has 2 kids. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Does he look interesting, or like you're just like, nah?
No. And
so perfect.
I mean,
I'm nosy like
It all
that.
worked out.
I highly doubt he will ever hear this because I don't know. I haven't spoken to him, but having him was like a security blanket. Like, okay, well, that's fine because he loves me. That means I'm worth loving and somebody wants me in their life. Like if it was a comfort, I think. So
Your
when he
life's
was
complete.
gone, all my insecurities came out and I had to figure out like what I really wanted to do. And I became a teacher and a photographer.
What clicked for you to say I'm going to do this on my own?
Oh, I kind of started to be like, well, now I'm 36. I'm 36 and single. I should do something about this. I did a photo shoot for a woman who had two. It was her second kid that turned one. She had a second one by herself, and I was like, she wanted to talk to me because her son had special needs, and I was like, I actually want to talk to you. And so she sort of told me the whole story of what to do, basically.
Yeah.
Go to the clinic, you find a donor, you probably have to start with IUIs, you do this. Okay. But I still in my mind was like, I can't do it by myself. I don't make enough money. I can't afford daycare and a mortgage.
I think probably one of the most common barriers for any solo mom.
And I live in New Jersey. The cost of living is very expensive. I mean, life is hard no matter where you live, but like the cost of living is very expensive. And at the time I had a roommate, that's how I paid my mortgage. Because she like gave
Your
me
roommate,
$100 a month to like, and I'm like, cool, there's half my mortgage. I'm not, whatever, it doesn't matter. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could look into freezing my eggs. The only reason I went to that appointment was I thought it was going to be covered by insurance because turns out the fine line, the small print, it only, an egg retrieval is covered by insurance if you are infertile and trying for over a year to have, I was over 35, 6 months with a partner, it covers IVF. For the egg retrieval to make an embryo, to an egg retrieval for what's it called, cryopreservation, is not covered under insurance. It's an elective procedure. But since I was already there, I went and I got the whole workup. And turns out, I've always had, my cycle has always been fine. I've never had any issues. So I never thought anything would be wrong. Turns out I have low ovarian reserve. And I'm like, I know more about what that means now, but at the time I was like, what? You mean that's going to be hard for me to have a baby? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, but cried. And
of course.
At the like a friend of mine had actually gone through the same. She wanted to freeze her eggs, and she has low ovarian reserve, but her numbers were, I think, a bit lower than mine. You have to pay out of pocket, and it was going to be about $12,000. If you're going to pay that much to only get an egg, it's not even worth it. So her doctor advised her against it. And I was like, well, that won't happen to me. My doctor was like, I still think you should do it. You're just not going to get as many. At first, I didn't want to do it. My parents and my aunt were both like, we want to help you. We know how much having a baby means to you. We want to help you. My parents talked me into doing it. And between my parents and my aunt, they helped me pay for all the medication, because I'll get to pay for all the medications and it was like $7,000 something for the egg retrieval itself. And I did it and I got 5 eggs, but only 3 were mature enough to freeze. And I sobbed when it was over, like heartbroken, crying, sobbing, because that is not enough.
It just takes one.
That's what it is. No, I know math. I know science. I know probability. I needed this to be my reassurance of I'm going to move on with my life, and this is my backup.
Yeah. So just like the 3 scared you because you weren't sure. You thought you would run out of it quickly when it came time to use them.
Yeah. Who knows when I'm still not married. I'm dating nobody. Like,
honestly, I mean, we're better off without them.
Yeah. Anyway, this was supposed to make me feel better about being at the time 36 and single. It didn't. Then I started to get really serious about, I'm going to have a baby by myself. How am I going to do this? And then 2020 happened. Obviously, world shut down. Pandemic.
That was like the turning point for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Here's why, though. Because I tutored. I'm a teacher. People were contacting me left and right for tutoring, and I did virtual tutoring, and I just made bank. And I just saved and saved and saved and saved. And after a few months, I was like, maybe I can do this. I, did a bunch of math, did a bunch of planning, like thinking. And then I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I think I want to do this now. I want to have baby by myself. And she was like, yes, please, let's do this. Like she couldn't, she was just waiting for me. Like she wanted me to do it years ago. I have this money, like I had a savings built, let's do it. And my original thought was I'd wait like a year to keep saving some more. But now I was then 38 and the doctor that did my egg retrieval had left RMA. So I needed
You
to
tell
get
us what RMA stands for, by the way.
Reproductive Medical Associates.
Okay, in New
Sure.
Jersey.
So it's just like your local clinic. It's not like an
No, it's
active-
big. It's all over.
Denver, we have like CCRM, Shady Grove.
Yeah.
Is Denver
we have
for
Shady
Life
Grove
is like
too.
a small- yeah. So I feel like there's that's
RMA,
not one.
RMA. They're in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Florida, and California.
Okay.
The more you know.
Yeah.
They're so big in New Jersey that everybody knows what RMA is. Oh, nope.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. I haven't heard that from anybody else.
Yeah, there are others, but that's one of the biggest ones in New Jersey.
So you went to RMA.
Yeah, had a consult with a new doctor, and she was like, you want to wait till spring? I think you should start now. And I was like,
Because it could take a while. Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I need to digest for a minute. And it took a couple hours. My mom came to the appointment with me, and she was like, so you don't want to start now because you want more time to save more money. That's really your only reason, right? And I was like, yeah.
But are we
And-
ever financially
No,
ready for kids?
No. And
I don't think partnered people are ready financially for kids.
no, but my mom was like, Kelley, we're gonna help you with daycare. Don't worry. If that's what's holding you back. Like, our plan is to help you with daycare. You're gonna call that doctor and you're gonna start now. And I'm like, okay. Now I had to pick the bank, find a donor, do all the testing.
Yeah.
And then I started that October. It's my first IUI. Now,
Let's pause right there. How did you decide on a donor?
how did I pick the bank? I had
I mean, that's a great place to start too.
It's kind of funny. That summer I was at a party and I was with someone I used to work with. We work in the same school district, and they are in a same-sex marriage, and they were getting ready to try and get pregnant too. They were looking at banks, and they had pretty much decided on a bank. They just hadn't decided on the donor yet. I remember I just had this conversation with her, and the doctor gave me a list, and there was like so many banks, and I was like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what was the bank my friend said? I texted her real quick, and she was like, oh, it's Zytex is what I ended up going with.
Laura, I would say that was the same bank you used, right?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm actually good friends with two of her siblings. Like we're gonna go on another trip. We met up a couple weeks ago, and now
Aw.
we're gonna go on another trip. That's like the fun part of the story, because now I picked the bank Zytex because that's what my friend was using, and
That's
they
how I
offer-
picked my bank. I think people overthink it. I'm like, if you know that someone else had a good experience with whatever it is, I think my example also was strollers. I like picked someone who knew how to
Oh
stroller.
yeah,
But
same.
like, if you know it, it
Yeah.
works. Great. Why not
Yeah.
go apply?
I looked through Zytex, and they had like it was like a 90-day free trial, and I was like, that's great,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I need free. Because they don't tell you with the banks. It's like online dating. You have to join the bank, pay the money for the monthly fee just to look.
Mm-hmm. Certain
Um,
things are unlocked and certain things are locked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can't see
Um,
like their adult pictures, I think, if you
It's
don't
something I forget
pay.
what it is.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, free trial. And I'm really tall. And I kind of was like, if I were to have a baby with someone, I would be probably dating someone roughly around my height, height. I'm Irish. So I was like, I guess similar, what's the word? Ethnicity?
Heritage? Ethnicity?
Yeah, ethnicity to me, because I wanted my kid to look like me. Because I figured
Yeah.
that would make her life a little bit easier if like people instantly knew I'm her mom,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they didn't have to be like, oh, were you adopted? If she looks nothing like me.
But there's nothing wrong with that, just so we are clear.
No, there's not. Oh, absolutely not. I was just thinking she's already going to be quote unquote different, and I'm like, if I could control one little thing, it's that she looks like,
Mhm.
and that's what I wanted. If she were to be born and look nothing like me, oh well.
Yeah. It's funny you say about the height because I'm 5'1", and so I chose a taller donor, which
Ugh.
they sell out really fast, the tall donors.
Oh really?
Yeah. But I was like, I want this kid because I had a feeling I was going to have a boy. And I was like, if I have a boy, I want him to be taller than 5'6" because I'm
Yeah.
5'1". So,
Oh, that's funny that because I knew I was having a girl before I was even pregnant. I knew I'm having a girl. Her name's Riley Catherine.
yeah, I just had a feeling I was going to have a boy.
Same. Oh, well, I knew. It wasn't even a feeling. It was like, I am having a girl. Her name is Riley Catherine. My nana died in 2011. And shortly after, I had this Riley Catherine. That's my daughter's name. A couple months later. And that was in 2011. And the name just like, I never taught a kid. That drove me nuts with that name. I found out I was pregnant on March 11th. I had Riley on 11/11/22, which is 11 years after my nana died. That's how I know she was sent to me from my nana. You were asking me about the donor, how I picked. I had to pick things like what's that called?
CMB status.
CMV.
Yeah,
Mhm.
CMV. I was CMV negative, so the person had to be CMV negative. I just sort of looked at ethnicity. I'm like, oh, they had cute baby pictures. That's kind of fun. And I got my mom and some of my friends to look. And I'm like, remember, my mom was like, oh, this guy. I was like, Mom, I am not marrying him. I just need the DNA. That is all I need. And then I'm like, my kid's going to be who my kid's going to be. I'm going to get who I'm going to get. We just need the DNA. And of course, you could go through all the testing of your genetic conditions and you have to get like genetic counseling. Turns out I wasn't a carrier for anything. So
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I guess I got lucky. I looked at the personality. That was important to me because it's funny, I guess we're our own harshest critic. And the things I don't like about myself are that I feel like I'm awkward socially. I have a lot of social anxiety and I just didn't want her to have that. I wanted her to just, and not that, I mean, she might still have it. I don't know. But to me, I was like, if this person describes themselves as an extrovert and is a good, and all these things, maybe she won't be like me. I don't know.
Yeah, you want a little of you.
And she's a nut like me. Then this is how I was. She like makes obstacle courses throughout my house and just like climbs and jumps and crashes and has no fear physically. And that's how I was as a kid. I would go off the high dive. That was 15 feet. I was, I think, 5 years old. But then going to school, I was terrified. Luckily, so far, Riley's fine with going to school.
So you picked your donor, and how many rounds did you do IVF, I'm assuming?
Okay, I had to start with IUI because my insurance would cover IVF if I had 6 failed IUIs.
Seems to be common.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did IUI, so the IVF world is new to me.
I was familiar with IVF because I froze my eggs, so I would just have to do that again. I was just describing my child. Physical things don't scare me. I'm like, sure, give me some shots, sure. You want to do this egg retrieval? Sure. Do I like it? No, but I'm not going to not do it, especially if it's going to get me my baby. Do what you have to. I bought 4 vials to start because you need 1 vial per try. And I remember buying 4 because if you bought 4 to 5, they gave you like a free year of storage or something.
Yeah, there's like a discount.
Yeah, and you know I love a deal. Did 4, and I was like, well, surely I'm going to have 3 extra vials because it's going to work on the first one. Really funny.
Sometimes it does.
I know. And I'm like, well, I was like in my brain, yeah, it's fine. I waited this long. I've been through this much things with all these. Surely this is going to be the easy part. No. I did the first 2 rounds. I did no medication. I just did natural cycle, and then they didn't work. The third one, I was like, well, third time's a charm, right? That's a lot. And I did the math, and I had the IUI exactly 2 weeks before Christmas. I'm like, well, I'm going to find out on Christmas that I'm pregnant. That's going to be the best Christmas ever. Of course, this is going to be the one that works. No, it did not work.
Great Christmas miracle, though.
Right? No, I didn't. Nope. Then January came along. I had the 4th one, and some of them, like I went into it like with a good feeling, and some I was like, meh, we'll just get this one done. The 5th one was on my birthday. Obviously, that's the good luck charm. My birthday IUI. Absolutely. Nope. Then the 6th one came, and I was like, well, let's just get this shit over with. Because I started writing the blog about how, I waited this long, I'm going to be a mom now, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is why I decided to baby mom myself. But then when it wasn't working, I changed the blog into this is really hard and frustrating. And this is what, and I got out all my emotions, which I really think helped my stress.
Yeah.
I also decided, I was like, you know what? I've heard good things about acupuncture. Let's try this. Went to acupuncture, did that big emotional like release. And I went into the sixth one with, I don't care. Let's just get this over with so I can get to IVF because I'll get more eggs. I can use my 3 frozen ones that were from when I was younger. Let's just get this over with. I had that on February 25th, and it was
my birthday. Well, actually, it's the 26th, but
oh, that's funny. In the middle of it was an ice storm, and I was like, and they called me. I guess I was in the shower. They called me, and I panicked when I saw their number first thing in the morning. I had to be there at like 7, and I was like, oh my God, tell me they're canceling this. I have to wait another month for the 6th one to be over. But they were like, oh, we're just confirming that you're still coming. I was like, yes, I'm coming. I drove there in the ice storm. It wasn't that bad. It was fine. Did the 6th IUI. I followed no rules that going to the 6th one. All the others, I drank no alcohol. I watched my caffeine intake. I did all the things and they didn't work. I was like, well, why am I going to waste my time? That night I had, I think, probably a singular one large glass of wine and went on my day. I was like, let's just get this 2 weeks done so we can get on to IVF. March 11th happens. Congratulations, you're pregnant. And I nearly hit the floor. Like I was so shocked.
Lucky number 6.
Yeah. So I did the 4 vials and then I just bought 2 more to get through the 6 because if I was going to need to buy more, I could get another kind called the ART. I forget what it stands for. You can only use the ART with IVF.
Yes.
But they were less expensive. I was going to buy those once I was ready for IVF.
And you used the same for all 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I asked mostly because I think there was an episode a couple ago that she changed her donor because the clinic was thinking that was part of the issue.
Oh, really? Oh, mine was fine.
I think her point was that sometimes sperm isn't compatible, I guess you would say, so it doesn't take.
Yeah.
And that's why women will get so far into different IUI rounds and then they'll say, well, this isn't working. Maybe I should switch donors. And then they end up being more successful with another donor. I think the reason that the ART vials are cheaper is because you don't need a full vial when you're doing IVF.
I figured it was something like that. Okay.
How was your pregnancy?
Oh my God. Trimester 1. I never threw up. I wasn't really nauseous. I was just really tired. Oh my God, my boobs hurt. Really tired, headaches. Felt like I had a hangover, but I didn't have any alcohol. Like I just called it the garbage feeling. And I was so hungry. Some people are like, oh, I lost weight in my first trimester. I was so sick. Not me. Nope. Give me all the cheeseburgers. I had waffles and peanut butter for breakfast. Cheeseburgers, French fries. I ate so much. I was also hungry, but kind of gave me more energy. The second trimester was fine. I was craving a lot of candy. I remember I would stop at 7-Eleven and get Skittles on my way to tutoring. And then second trimester, everything good. Third trimester, good Lord. Those awful.
What happened?
Because I would say about 26 weeks, I started to get the pelvic girdle pain and the SPD, which stands for symphysis pubis dysfunction. And apparently, who knew, your pubic bone is actually 2 bones together and it starts to separate because of the relapsin hormone that goes throughout your body.
Is that why you get lightning crotch?
Yeah, part of it is.
That's when they hit the nerves in that area.
Oh, yeah. Somebody on TikTok was like, I have boob pain. And I was like, just wait until you get lightning crotch because it's real fun.
But like, I could barely walk. My back, my legs, my feet, because my legs swelled so bad that my feet hurt a lot. My back
was that
hurt.
because of preeclampsia or you just...
Yeah, my blood pressure was fine. I just was retaining a lot of water. I did end up with preeclampsia, but right at the end, like right as I delivered her, they were like, oh yeah, you had preeclampsia. Yeah. I had her right at 39 weeks, but at 38 weeks, my blood pressure was like just at the spot where like, this is high, like right. I was at like that or only one of them was. So my doctor was like, just lie down and rest a little bit. We're going to recheck you. And if you've dropped, we're just going to like do the blood work and go from there. Otherwise, we have to send you to the hospital. My blood pressure came down enough. And then, so I just went to get blood work and I was fine. I had a blood pressure cuff at home and I was told to like watch for symptoms. But the day I ended up having her, my water broke at home and when I got there, my blood pressure was just at that high point again. And I had the protein in the urine, but I was already having her, so it wasn't a problem. And then I was fine after. It took a couple of days to like my blood pressure to fix itself, but after that I was okay. But that third trimester was I couldn't move. November 10th at night. And I was about ready to go to bed and my water broke at 4:30 the next morning.
So who took you to the hospital?
My mom.
Okay.
So the plan was for me to move back in with them, not with like all my stuff, but a good amount of like my clothes and stuff. And we set up Riley's like nursery in their guest bedroom that's in the basement. So I was already there at their house. Because I think once I stopped working, I got my stuff just because my mom was afraid I was going to go into labor and be alone. She was like, she wanted to be there for like, if something went wrong or like, so she could be the one to take me to the hospital. My dad was there too. And he of course would have done it. But my dad actually had back surgery the Monday before I had Riley.
Your mom had your hands full.
My
I
poor
should say
mother,
that. Yeah.
She's a saint. Luckily my the surgery wasn't that major. He recovered pretty quickly,
Oh,
but
good.
still a lot.
I'm always curious because before I had Weston, I was like, who's going to take me to the hospital? Like, what if my water breaks? Am I going to have to call an ambulance? Who's going to take care of the dog? Like, all these things are going through my head. I was induced, so
Yeah,
it was
I had
planned.
it all a plan. So I had my 2 cats, but luckily my roommate was still here, so she took care of the cats for me.
My water broke at 4:30 in the morning too, and I drove myself to the hospital. So it's
I
a
considered that.
weird, yeah. It's so funny that like that can happen, right? Because I was
Yeah.
with you, like it's like what happens? Like, I live alone, like I mean, because I think you expect like your water break and contractions to start, like that's what you
No,
see on
I wasn't
TV.
even. I was barely contracting.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't have any ever, and even
Yeah.
though my water broke, it just broke really early.
Well, it was 4:30. I called the doctor, and they're like, "Yeah, as long as you're still feeling her move, it's okay. You can stay home." Yeah, I don't know. And
I could be making that up.
I was like, it was 4:30. I didn't want to wake my mom up just yet. I bounced around on a stability ball. I was like, this is supposed to help, right? I'm supposed to do this. And texting my friend, I thought I was having contractions. I was starting to get. Once I had real contractions, I was like, oh, those weren't contractions.
Oh, yeah, there's a difference.
Oh
Mhm.
boy. I was like, all right, I'll go to the hospital now. Let's do this. And because I started to get scared that like, oh, what if something goes wrong? I wanted to be where there was medical professionals.
Yeah, better safe than sorry for sure.
Yeah, my mom drove me to the hospital. They checked me. I was only like barely like slightly dilated, like maybe a half a centimeter. It's funny, they did that test where they stuck something to like check to see if it was amniotic fluid. Came back negative. That hurt a lot. And I was like, I'm sorry. If that's not my amniotic fluid water breaking, what has been dripping out of me for the past 2 hours? And they're like, oh, I'm pretty sure the test is wrong. I was like, then why did you put me through that? But whatever. I wasn't upset. I was just like, oh, but
Did it
then,
hurt worse than actually like giving birth?
well, I had an epidural, so.
Yeah, but I felt, even though I had 2 epidurals, I still
Yeah.
felt things.
You know what? By the time she came out, I was in such a state of like disassociated because of the
Yeah.
pain that I don't remember it hurting when she came out. I could feel the contractions on this side.
Hmm.
They did the checks, and then they were like, okay, yes, your blood pressure's high, her heart rate was a bit high. We're gonna keep you and induce you. And they just gave me that one pill that you can take every 4 hours. Of course, I can't remember the name of it. Cytotec, is that it?
I have no idea what this pill is. They
I'm
gave
pretty
me
close.
so much, I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, physically
Yeah,
present.
it's called Cytotec.
I'm here.
It's called Cytotec. It's misoprostol is the
Misoprostol. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. And
But you say that like you know what it is. So what is it?
It's to help, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's to help open your cervix.
yeah.
Got it.
It's to like soften the cervix too. It worked because once I took that, within an hour, I was contracting hard. Oh, this is what they're talking about when they say contractions.
And was your
But I-
mom in the room with you the whole time?
Mhm.
Okay.
And my mom insisted that we get a doula. And
yeah.
it was someone she knew. By the time the doula got there, I'd already had my epidural and I was asleep.
Did you do a like a everyone calls it a birth plan, but like nothing ever goes according to plan. Did you do like birth preferences where the
I
doula at
did.
least knew what you wanted?
Oh, the doula did. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I was very much in the mindset of I don't have to have things a certain way. I was going to have a vaginal birth. Like that's just how my brain said. Like this is, I don't know. So that's, but if they were to say we need to do a C-section now, I would say, okay, cut me open. Like I was very much do what's best for me and my baby. Like
Yeah.
I was like, if I'm in too much pain, I am getting an epidural. I don't care. No, like
Oh,
there's no like, good for you. If you wanted an all natural birth and you got that, great, good for you. But like,
mm-mm.
there was no trophy being passed out for me for, like, and
For
like some
anybody.
people dream of that and that's what they want and good for them, like,
Yeah.
but that wasn't me. I was just, I really hope I have a vaginal birth. I feel like that's what I'm going to have. But if I don't,
Yeah.
I don't care. Whatever gets the baby out and alive and healthy, great.
Yeah, for me,
Safest.
our birth preferences were like so much more than like, because I had, again, twins, one was breech. So like a C-section for me was always like just kind of always on the books, but I didn't
Right.
realize like there's so many other decisions that you have to make when a
Yes.
baby's born. Like, do you do the vitamin K shots? Do you
Yeah.
want them to have sugar water? Do you want them to be like, are they okay on formula? Or do you want donor milk? Like all of those questions. And because you are in this like state of disassociation, there's a term for it, but I'm with you. I'm like, I forget what that
I
term
don't
is.
know.
But
Yeah.
like my like best friend was the one who came with me, and then like she showed up at 4:30 in the morning. I didn't even know she was awake. She's like, I'll be there in 20. And I was like, you don't have to, it's fine. She's like, no, I'll be there. And then like a whole care team knew like these are the things, because they like there was nobody else to ask, right? Like I'm the sole parent and these are my preferences. So I feel people are like a birth plan is C-section, epidural, or natural birth, but it's really so much more than that. When you
Mhm.
break down the decisions that you have to make in the first 20 minutes of these tiny humans' lives.
Yeah, my doula went over all that with me. I wanted her to have all the vaccines that one is supposed to get as a newborn. I trust the medical professionals. I definitely wanted to do the skin to skin immediately, for the hour. And my hospital does that anyway. It wasn't like something I had to ask for. Like as soon as I had her, they put her right on me.
I think that's common now.
The
They
golden
also
hour or
said
whatever.
not to include it in my birth plan for the same
Yeah,
reason.
and the cutting of the cord, like waiting for the cord blood
Yeah,
to.
mine had delayed cord clamping as well.
Yeah, but it was stuff they
Mhm.
did automatically. I didn't have to ask for any of it.
Yep.
I had the option of save my placenta and like turn it into a pill, or I was like, I'm good.
I
So
don't even
then
remember
you
giving birth to the placenta. Like when I look
I
back,
do.
I'm like, how did that get out? Because I don't remember.
I do. I remember, but I didn't feel anything. It was just like, oh, placenta. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember
but
them stitching me up, but I don't
oh, that hurt.
remember. Yeah, she's like, it's gonna pinch. I was like, that's more
Oh
than a pinch.
no, that hurt a lot. And they come and press on your stomach.
cool.
Constantly. Yeah.
They do that with a C-section too. So even though they like
Ow.
remove them, like they'll come in and they push and just make sure that everything's like contracting appropriately. And
I feel like that would hurt more because like you're all cut open.
what I remember it not being great, but I also like at that point I was probably on a lot more drugs than you guys were,
Yeah, I
um,
was on anything but
because I
Tylenol.
was cut open.
Yeah.
I remember my back being in horrible pain after. Like my upper back hurt a lot.
From like
Um,
hunching. Yeah, and
but
pushing.
mine
Yeah.
hurt.
I know. Laura and I talk about this too, of like we all sit with bad posture because we're used to like having babies in arms and
Yeah. Oh, I know. My back it's still so out of whack.
And did you join the sibling registry? I think different banks call them different things, but
Yeah,
like right
yes.
away.
I didn't even think of it. You're so delirious when you have a newborn. But I remember going on the
Yeah.
bank and reporting the birth and seeing some things and just sort of like, okay, like I didn't really know what it meant. I would say Riley was probably about a month. And some friends came to visit, and one mentioned the couple that I did the same bank as them, that the one mom is in a Facebook group with some of the siblings. And I was like, oh, I wonder if she did that. So I texted her. I go, was it through the bank? And she said, yep, through the bank. And I went and I found the sibling registry. And I joined, and within like a couple hours, the one girl that now I'm really good friends with contacted me. It was like, "We have this Facebook group. I'll send you this invite." At first, there was only a few of us, and it was a nice small little group. But now there's a lot.
So you've met them.
Only because we found out we live kind of near each other. It was so weird. If we didn't live so close, I don't think we would have met as quickly as we did. Somebody had said, would you guys ever be interested in like doing like a siblings trip one day when the kids are older? All of our babies were roughly born within like 6-7 months of each other at the time. And I was like, yeah, I'm in New Jersey, but willing to travel. And she commented, I'm in New Jersey too. And one of the rules of the Facebook group is that you're not allowed to private message each other, respect everybody's privacy.
Yeah.
And so I went back on the XY Connects and sent her a message there. And I said, would it be okay if I messaged you on Facebook Messenger since we're both living in New Jersey? She's like, yes, of course, you could friend me too. Like we had that discussion of like, we want to be in touch. She said, I'm very interested in forming relationships for my son. And I said, me too. So we became friends on Facebook. We didn't become close right away. We just taught like in the Facebook group here and there. And then as summer got closer, I just messaged her and I was like, would you want to meet up this summer? And she was like, yes, let's do it. So it is kind of funny. Remember how I told you about my Nana and the 11s?
Yeah.
The day we figured out how to, like, we were going to meet was actually my Nana's birthday. And I was like, I know we were meant to be.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like cousins, like that kind of relationship. So we met that summer. Then XY Connects was down for a while and then it opened back up. And when it did, like the Facebook group, like it really exploded. I guess our donor got very popular. My friend got in touch with a new girl who joined. We were going to do a local meetup in the Jersey Shore. The three of us, we hang out, we talk all the time. We have like group chats. It's for me, I need it.
It's your village.
Yeah.
Looking back on your journey, is there anything that you haven't talked about that you want to share with us?
Well, the hardest part is actually once they're here. Well, I love it. I love this is my life. I love it. I love my child more than the world, like anything. I think I had no idea. I mean, I guess you have no idea how hard it's going to be until you actually do it.
Yeah.
But I really thought, I don't know what I thought, to tell you the truth, because whatever I thought was not it. I had really bad postpartum anxiety. It's a lot better now, but I still feel a constant state of overwhelm that I just deal with the best way, as best as I can.
Have you leaned into any sort of tools to help you with the anxiety piece?
Yeah, I have a therapist, and I've been in therapy for a long time due to all my past relationships. It actually started when it was a year after my wedding was canceled, and I was just a mess. I've been going to therapy ever since, and I do take medication. I'm not ashamed of that. It's definitely, I need it. My brain, the neurotransmitters work much better when they have some assistance. Also, just like for me, I've met a friend that's also a single mom. She lives nearby. A few months ago, Riley was sent home with a Father's Day present, daddy's grilling partner. And I was like, what the fuck is this? They know she doesn't have a dad. Why? And I was livid.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, whatever. So I texted her and I was like, what do I do? And some people were like, oh, it's fine, it's no big deal. But I'm like, you don't understand. Your kids have a dad. Like, not that it's a bad thing that mine doesn't, but it's like the school didn't listen to me when I've been very open and honest. And even in the month of June, I said, Father's Day is coming up. Just a reminder, because she just moved up classroom. Riley doesn't have a dad, but if she makes a Father's Day present, she can make it for my dad, her grandpa. And they were like, yep, sure, no problem. And then a month later, she comes home with this daddy's grilling buddy. And I was like, they didn't listen to me. So that was more why I was upset. And
I get it. I pulled my kids. There was a number of things that happened, but out of a preschool, like the final straw was like, here's a key fob for daddy. And I was like, no, y'all, they don't like, my twins do not have a dad. Thank you. Like, here are the people. And it's the same thing. I went in like, my dad is their emergency contact. They're very close with my dad. It's not a secret, but if you're people who don't pay attention to that, drive being up the wall.
Yeah. And I mean, I am a teacher. The first thing I do if I'm doing a Mother's Day, Father's Day project of some sort, does everyone have one of these? Does anyone need something else? Because I've had kids in foster care. I've had kids who are being raised by grandma and grandpa. And like, I am like, okay, We got this kid can make it for this one, you know, kids with two moms, kids with two dads, like families are different. So texting her and her being like just as mad as me, like it made me feel better. Or even just like when I first moved back home, I didn't know how to feed myself anymore. And I was like, can I ask you a question? Do you eat dinner most nights? And she was like, no. She's like, I eat a bunch of snacks or DoorDash. And I was like, okay, just checking, because me too.
Yeah. When Weston goes to bed, then I can finally eat dinner.
Yeah, I don't cook. I hate cooking. I'm too overwhelmed. It's too many tasks. I'm getting better. But I'm telling you, my postpartum anxiety was so bad that at the like the 4-month sleep regression, like I didn't know how long she was ever going to sleep for. I was convinced I was going to burn the house down if I tried to like turn the oven on. Like convinced. I'm telling you, it was really bad. And feeding her, oh my God, that the anxiety about feeding her, because breastfeeding was horrible for me. That was another surprise. I was also convinced that it was poison because I wasn't eating well. I was just shoving snacks in my mouth whenever I could. I'm like, well, how can this breast milk have nutrition in it? And then the formula, I was like, oh my God, what if it's not made perfectly? And I told you, I have experience with children, experience with babies. I have scooped many of formula. I could not scoop that powder. I couldn't do it. I had to get ready to feed. I couldn't scoop the powder because it wasn't perfect enough.
Really?
How did you get through all of that, right? Because you have a now healthy 3-year-old, so you got there. Like, what helped you get there?
Talking about it with people and people who newly had kids. But even like my sister was able to breastfeed and it was fine. But my niece was 5 and my nephew was 10 when Riley was born. And my sister was like, Kelley, do I ever look at my children and go, wow, look at my breastfed kids? And I'm like, oh yeah, no, you don't do that. And another friend of mine was like, Kelley, in a year, she's going to be eating goldfish off the floor. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. And then,
especially if they go to daycare, you're like, whatever.
And now my best friend she had breast cancer and had double mastectomy, so she had no choice but to formula feed, and her kids are perfectly healthy too. And my sister said to me, Kelley, no baby has ever died because they got a little too much or a little formula. It's going to be okay. And I was like, okay. And like, I was just like, remind myself that as I was less sleep deprived, because counting the scoops was like, oh my God.
Sometimes you forget though. You're like, was that 5 or was that 7? I don't remember.
I don't know. And then I'd have to start over and then I'd cry. And then, but you have to do an unpacked scoop. What does that mean? An unpacked scoop. Of course you have to level it off, but how do you not pack it? You got to give it a little tap, tap. And I'm like, but that's a pack. I would re-dump it out and then I would lose count. And oh my God, I was a disaster.
So that is best. We'll just say that. However you feed your baby is best.
I still pumped because it just like made me feel good to like give her 1 ounce of breast milk mixed in with her bottle, however much I got. I think it was like 1.5 ounces a day. But I got past the anxiety about feeding her, but just by talking about it and like reminding myself and then being less sleep deprived helped. And with her growing and knowing everything was fine.
So as we sort of wrap up here, knowing that you have a 3-year-old and you had the roller coaster of a ride to get to 3, what advice would you give, not even necessarily new moms, right? But like Laura and I have 1.5 years, like 1-year-old, Weston just turned 1, mine just turned 1.5 years, like to about to be toddler moms.
Just enjoy the journey, you know, like some days are hard. What do they say? The days are long, the years are short.
Yep.
You know?
I have no idea where the last 18 months went. No idea.
The last 3 years, where have I been? I don't know. That like embrace the chaos. Isn't that the name of this?
Choosing chaos. Yep.
Yeah. It's really what you just got to do it. Like, it's not going to be like this forever. When Riley was going through the sleep regression and I would just like have to hold her to sleep forever, I remember saying to myself, I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss holding her. And I do. I mean, I don't rock her to sleep, but like I miss those baby days. And even like the toddler cuteness with her little chubby belly, 1.5 to 2 was rough for us.
You're in that now, Kristen.
Oh,
I am, but
it's gone, you know, and it gets better. It gets easier. It gets easier in some ways, harder in others, but you just keep on going. You find it, you figure it out. You find a way to keep on going, and you're doing a great job, you know, is what I have to tell myself. And I didn't know how much I would need to hear that from other people. But hearing it helps, because I don't know, I guess I'm really insecure, but like a lot of times I'm like, oh, I'm a terrible mother. let my kid have a donut today. I let her,
No,
or
you're not a bad
I'm
mom
not,
for
I'm not.
that.
I'm like, you should see
If
my
you're
house.
comparing yourself to social media, then we're
Which is
all
not real.
absolutely terrible moms.
Yeah.
And I know it's not really spiral into the anxiety. And then I'm like, I just have to bring myself back and be like, it's fine.
One thing that I've been working through is like Weston, obviously kids make a mess and then I'm like, I need to clean that up so badly. And then I'm like, he's just going to do it again in 10 minutes. So I really don't care at this point.
When I first went back to work, somebody asked me how I was doing, and I was like, I don't know. She's clean. Her bottles are clean. Are the rest of us clean? No, I don't think so.
Did I
But
shower
she's
today?
alive.
We're good.
Kelley, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today. Any last minute words that you would like to say?
It's hard, but it's so worth it. That's what I say. I wanted this heart. This is the heart that I wanted. And I
Mhm.
do. And I love it.
And you got it
I do. Yeah.
on number 6.
Yep.
As we wrap up today, I want to gently name something important. Postpartum anxiety is real, and it can be really hard. If you are finding yourself feeling constantly on edge, overwhelmed, unable to rest even when your baby is resting, or stuck in loops of worry or fear, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. There is support available. You could talk to your OB, your midwife, or your primary care provider. You can also reach out to Postpartum Support International. They offer a free helpline, local referrals, and online support groups. I'll link their resources along with other support options in the show notes. You deserve care too. Choosing motherhood, especially on your own terms, is not the easy path. It comes with real emotional, physical, and logistical challenges. And at the same time, as Kelley reminded us today, it does get easier. Not all at once and not magically, but slowly in ways you start to feel in your own body, in your confidence, in your capacity. This is what choosing chaos really means. Choosing a life that's full and messy and brave even when it's hard. Choosing yourself, choosing your child, and choosing a future that may not look traditional, but is deeply intentional. Before you go, be sure to subscribe to Choosing Chaos so you never miss more stories of courage, choice, and the beautiful mess of motherhood. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Come join the conversations, share your story, and help build this community. And if today's episode resonated, don't forget to follow, rate, and leave a comment. We'd truly love to hear from you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing this path with us. And we'll see you next time on Choosing Chaos.